So, just a quick video. I was going to show you guys a couple of things that I got. I don't have a Jewett City flea market like Billville 64 Goat has. My little town, all I have is yard sales that I can hit. And occasionally I come across a halfway decent deal. Moose is on my deal today. Down here in this section of my workshop, this is the one where I'm working on the 54. I had a stool here that I had purchased. I don't remember where I purchased it, to be honest with you, but it doesn't swivel, and so the more I use it, the looser everything becomes, and it's got screws that I can tighten up, and I do tighten it up. Well, today I found this stool in a yard sale for $3, and this one, lo and behold, has a nice turntable, so it swivels. So that's going to be my new one for down here in this room. Now over here I have this one, which is my main one that I use. So the other thing I picked up in different yard sales, we went to like 5 or 6 different yard sales today, was these lights. I got 3 of them actually. I got the yellow one, I got the white one, and I got a black one, and I figured between the 3 I could get one good one. I think I'm actually going to get 2 good ones out of it. I've already got the black one going, which is over here. I cleaned it up, and I just drilled a hole right in my table. And that'll give me additional light other than my magnifier light, because I don't like having the magnifier light and then having to look at the magnifier all the time. I want a regular light. So that's that one. So I think what I'm going to do is keep making you guys dizzy by walking back and forth here. I think what I'm going to do is get the yellow one functional, because its switch seems to work pretty good. And I'm going to drill a hole in this bench and have the same situation where I can have my magnifying light as well as the other light if I want it that way. And the plan for this one, this white one, is I think I'm going to take the light head off of it and put a camera mount on it, and that'll give me an additional camera mount. Don't forget, I still got this that I use a lot. And I actually have the pieces for another one over there, which leads me to what I want to show you, that my biggest find today that I was most happy with that I never come across. When I left North Carolina, I had a chop saw. And I left it in North Carolina for my daughter and her husband to use. So I haven't had one since I moved to Illinois. Well, lo and behold, I found this Delta today in a yard sale. And yes, it needs to be cleaned up. And yes, it needs a new blade. But it works. I plugged it in and it works. Everything seems tight. And that's what I paid for it right there. $5. $5 for a Delta chop saw that I think is going to clean up pretty nice when I clean it up. But yeah, Bill, you come across some really good buys, that drill press being one of them. I don't usually get this sort of thing. I came across this one today. So once in a while, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. And then that leads me to the last thing I wanted to show you, and this is part of something I bought last weekend, totally unintended. We had traveled into what's called the Quad Cities. It's about an hour from here. It's 4 cities that make up the Quad Cities, obviously. It's Quad Cities. Bigger cities: Moline, Rock Island, Davenport, and Bettendorf. Bettendorf, Davenport, Iowa, and Rock Island and Moline in Illinois. They're connected together by a big bridge in the Mississippi River. But anyway, that's where I grew up. Over there is a facility that's kind of like a flea market, but it's more retail than flea market, because what you do is you rent out stalls and you can put your stuff in there and sell it and pay the owner a percentage. Well, usually a lot of antiques and stuff in there, and a lot of people usually are looking for a lot of money for their antiques. But I saw something that I've wanted for a long time and haven't been able to find one reasonable, and that's an old phonograph. Now, if you guys go back and look at my very, very early videos, you will see that I have a gramophone that I had purchased at an antique store in North Carolina and restored it and got it functional. And the reproducer in the part with the needle was in really bad shape, and I had to super glue and epoxy it, but it turned out pretty decent. Well, they had an upright phonograph made by United Phonographs Corporation in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And it wasn't for sale. It was sitting down a hallway, and it had like some stuff on top of an antique picture and things like that. No price. So I went and I found the lady and I said, so I'm assuming that this phonograph's not for sale. And she's like, well, is there not a price tag? I said, yeah, no, there's no price tag. She goes, is there a not for sale sign? I said, no. She goes, well, let me go find the owner and we'll see. So she went and found the owner, and the owner came and she told me that it really wasn't for sale, that it was a gift to her family from an old family friend that had passed away a few years ago, and she really hadn't intended on getting rid of it. And I told her what I did as far as restoring old vintage radios, and if she wanted to ever decide to sell it, to let me know. So she said, well, what do you think it's worth? And I said, I have no idea what it's worth. And she said, well, make me an offer. And I said, I would hate to make you an offer and insult you. And she said, well, go ahead and make me an offer. And I said, the most I could give you would be $100. And me personally, I thought that that was not enough, because it's actually in very nice shape. Now, you're only going to see the motor, because that's what I got down here. But long story short, I got it for $100 and got it home. I had to take it all apart in order to get it in my vehicle that I had, because I didn't have my truck with me. And it is very nice, but it does need some work. I did some research, and apparently it was built somewhere between 1916 and 1920, and most places know nothing about it because it was a fledgling company that sold out in 1922 to Paramount Records. So it's a rare one. Doesn't mean it's worth anything just because it's rare, but it is. So anyway, here's the motor. I pulled the motor out. I haven't done anything with it other than take it out of it, move it down here, and I'm going to take it all apart and clean it up. I don't know if the spring's broke or not, but I'll have to do the springs. There's probably 2 springs, one in each of these cans. The main problem I've got is this is where the crank goes. The crank gear here, and this probably is not a good camera to show you this, but take my word for it, the crank gear here is missing some teeth, and the one that it couples with is chewed up pretty good too, and apparently someone cranked it up pretty tight. The teeth are slightly beveled, but they're not supposed to be, they're just bent. Now over here the teeth look okay, the governor looks okay, these teeth look okay. So I've been doing some research online, seeing if I can come up with a pair of gears, and I did find a company online that makes and sells gears. I just have to take these apart, clean them up, measure the diameter and measure the tooth count, and then I can determine if I can get some gears for it. There's a place in Vermont that Larry from Back to the Future Radios hooked me up with that I contacted this past week, and they're going to see if they've got anything. The guy told me that it's ultra rare. He probably doesn't have it because they mainly deal in Victrola. Anyway, this is going to be a future project, and you guys will see it along with the cabinet and stuff, and maybe I can get some pictures of it. Really, Moose? Maybe I can get some pictures of it included on this video so you can see what the outside looks like a little bit. But anyway, that's it. Just wanted to throw this quick video together for you. Talk to you later.